Hey everyone! Welcome to the Bold and Beautiful 24. I'm Alessio, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Bold and Beautiful, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. Carter's desperate plea and Taylor's outrage shake Forrester creations. According to Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for September 15th to 19th, 2025, Carter Walton is desperate and Taylor Hayes is disgusted. As we always do on early spoilers day, we begin with what will happen the remainder of the week. Then we'll chat about what's coming next week. Bold and Beautiful spoilers. Wednesday, September 10th drama unfolds. Daphne Rose has returned on Wednesday, September 10th. She's been back in LA for a while, but she's engaged in a fresh dialogue with Carter. She is there to soothe him, but also to be present as he realizes he may lose Hope Logan. Carter also plans to inform Daphne that Ridge Forrester is split between Brooke Logan and Taylor. I wonder if he sees a comparison with Hope being torn between him and Liam Spencer. I believe Ridge is drawn to Taylor due to guilt, since in the end, Ridge wants Brooke and has fallen for her again, hook, line, and sinker. After accepting Ridge's marriage proposal, Brooke joyfully announces, "We're engaged." She'll want to get him down the aisle straight away. After realizing Luna Nozawa is alive and sending him texts, Will Spencer understands she's also the person who took advantage of him at the party while he was too inebriated to understand what was going on and would never have agreed to sleep with Luna. I wonder if she's going to make some threats like, "Imagine how Elektra Forrester is going to react." Bold and Beautiful early spoilers September 15th to 19th. Carter is desperate and Taylor is disgusted, soap dirt. Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Liam refuses to give up. In addition, despite Hope's engagement to Carter, Liam continues to work on convincing her to rejoin with him. Liam is not going to give up. And Hope will likewise be torn. Thomas Forrester is appalled this week when Taylor informs him that Ridge has abandoned her for Brooke yet again. Taylor must be absolutely disgusted because she is confident Brooke will do Ridge dirty yet again. Thomas is going to be upset about this, especially because he just told Brooke, "You keep tearing our family apart and stay out of the way." This week, Ivy Forrester assures Elektra that Luna and Remy Price are in the past. Her nightmare guy is Remy, and Luna is Will Spencer's nightmare female. Unfortunately, Ivy could not be more wrong. Thursday, September 11th BNB spoilers. Luna's obsession and Sheila's secrets. On Thursday, September 11th, we see Luna becoming even more fascinated with Will. She clearly poses a significant threat to Elektra's relationship with Will, not because he would abandon her for Luna, but because she has the ability to reveal what happened between them. Elektra would most likely be appalled to learn that Luna is still alive and that Wood was in bed with her despite his refusal. Luna is also a constant threat to Sheila Carter's marriage to Deacon Sharp, as we all know how he feels for Luna. When Sheila discovers that he has been lying to her and sneaking over there to spend time with Lee Finnegan and Luna, he will be quite upset. Of course, Sheila is becoming increasingly concerned about Luna's actions and how it may affect her relationship with Deacon. Sheila has been enabling Luna up to this point, but I believe that when she discovers that she has told Will that she is alive, Lee and Sheila will get concerned, since both realize they might all end up in prison. Bold and Beautiful spoilers. Will's secret and Elektra's suspicions. On Friday, September 12th, Elektra became suspicious due of Will Spencer's unusual conduct. He is anxious and does not act like a man who is with the love of his life, who has just made love to him. Of course, Will is likely to continue lying for a while. I suppose he's going to inform Katie Logan that he slept with Luna. Let's watch how she reacts. She had already instructed Will, "Don't tell Elektra what you did." Katie might repeat such advice. She is going to get Dollar Bill Spencer involved. Poor Elektra will be horrified to find that Will slept with Luna. The difficulty is, of course, can he keep this dreadful secret that Luna violated him? He wants Luna back in prison, but he doesn't want Elektra to find out what he done. And it's just so messy. Exciting BNB casting news. Steffy Forrester's return. Jackie Wood's maternity leave update. Before we get into the spoilers, here's some great casting news from the week of September 15th to the 19th. Jackie Wood has returned from maternity leave as of Tuesday, September 9th. She returned to the Bold and the Beautiful set and is currently filming. That implies Steffy Forrester should be back on our screens by early October. There is still no information on her newborn. There is no name yet, no date of birth, nothing. She has 4 boys already. Perhaps she is playing the lottery to obtain a girl. But my money is on a 5th son because her husband is clearly filling her with boys. If you didn't know, the man's background decides the baby's gender. So her husband Elon is responsible for the fact that they had 4 boys so far, with the possibility of a 5th. But congratulations to her, and delighted that she's returned just in time to chastise Ridge for abandoning their mother and lying to Steffy. Remember how he swore not to shatter Taylor's heart when he first sniffed around her mother again? Steffy was really skeptical. And now he has done exactly what he stated he would not do. Bold and beautiful spoilers, Sheila's lies exposed, Thomas's rage, and Will's dilemma. Okay, from September 15th to the 19th, Sheila faces the very real danger of losing her husband Deacon due to her dishonesty. Now that Will knows the truth, the question is whether he will call the police. Will he start informing everyone? Is Luna going to tell him that Lee saved her life and Sheila was there? What number of persons will Luna implicate? Clearly, she did not stand up and walk out of the operating room alone, faking her own death without assistance. Thomas will be furious with Ridge for breaking off their engagement and then proposing to Brooke. I believe Taylor may try to calm Thomas down to some extent. But I also believe she believes Ridge deserves any criticism he receives from Thomas and Steffy for once again breaking up their family and returning to Brooke. Of course, when Steffy returns, she will lose her cool with Ridge. But we still have a few weeks till Steffy returns after her time away to decompress after her own near-fatal gunshot at Luna's hands, as well as Liam Spencer's false cancer, shooting, and so on. Bold and the beautiful spoilers. Plot twists. Ridge and Taylor had ended their relationship. But she is meant to find a new love interest. We will see. There aren't many single males on Bold and the Beautiful, unless they plan to bring someone else in. There just aren't many guys. So, Will be scurrying next week to figure out what to do following this horrific revelation of Luna's existence. And she posed a significant danger to his relationship with Elektra. Lee is going to be in a lot of legal problems in the Newtown Pariah as word gets out that she saved Luna and smuggled her out of the hospital to avoid repercussions. Katie and Bill will be there for Will when he battles difficulty. It could also bring Katie back closer to Bill. Liam continues determined to reclaim hope. Of course, Carter is battling to keep her, whilst Daphne discourages him because she wants Carter. The week of September 15th through September 19th, 2025 on The Bold and the Beautiful promises to be one of those rare, electrifying stretches of episodes where every character seems to be standing at a crossroads, and while the headlines scream about Carter Walton's desperate plea and Taylor Hayes' disgust rattling the walls of Forrester Creations, the deeper truth of these episodes lies in the fragile emotions, the messy entanglements, and the betrayals both spoken and unspoken that are about to erupt in Los Angeles. And as always, the soap doesn't just give us a surface-level drama, it digs into the history of these characters, their wounds, their loyalties, their fears, and their undeniable passions. And so when Carter sits across from Daphne Rose on Wednesday, September 10th, long before the September 15th week begins in earnest, you can feel the heaviness in the air as Carter, a man who has always been so steady, so loyal, so unwavering in his sense of right and wrong, now suddenly find himself unraveling at the seams, his voice carrying the trembling weight of someone who sees his entire future slipping through his fingers, and Daphne, who has slowly carved out a presence for herself since returning to L.A., watches him with both sympathy and a quiet curiosity because she knows all too well that when a man like Carter is driven to desperation, it's not just about losing love, it's about losing identity. And as Carter tells her about Hope Logan, about the way her attention drifts, the way her heart seems to hover between him and Liam Spencer, he can't help but also spill his thoughts about Ridge Forrester, because Ridge's dilemma between Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes feels like a mirror being held up to his own life, and Carter, though he's usually measured in how much he reveals, can't stop himself from drawing the parallels, admitting that just as Ridge seems incapable of ever truly severing ties with either woman, Hope too seems tethered to Liam by an invisible string that Carter cannot cut, and Daphne, trying to steady him, places her hand on his arm and quietly reminds him that life in Los Angeles, especially in the Forrester orbit, is never free from complicated triangles and unresolved histories. But Carter isn't soothed because when he looks at Ridge, who has once again fallen into Brooke's arms, who has once again gotten down on one knee and asked her to marry him, he sees the inevitability of history repeating itself. He sees that no matter how much Ridge might be drawn toward Taylor out of guilt or out of loyalty, the gravitational pull between Ridge and Brooke is too strong to resist, and Carter wonders aloud if Hope will always feel that same kind of pull toward Liam, if no matter how much she might try to embrace a future with Carter, she will always fall back into the arms of the man who has disappointed her 1,000 times but who she can't seem to walk away from. And that realization shatters something inside him, leaving him vulnerable in a way we haven't seen since his heartbreak over Quinn, and Daphne, though she listens with patience, can see the storm brewing because when Carter starts making desperate pleas, it's not just about convincing Hope to choose him, it's about trying to convince himself that he deserves to be chosen at all, and while Carter's crisis unfolds, another earthquake shakes the canvas as Ridge's proposal to Brooke leaves her glowing, giddy, nearly floating with joy as she proclaims to anyone who will listen that they are engaged again, that this time it will last, that nothing and no one can tear them apart, and though her smile is radiant, Taylor Hayes seethes because she can see the patterns too, she can see that.